Well, hello, I'm Dr. Tom Greiner. I'm so glad that you're listening or watching. And today we're going to continue in some truths that I believe that are going to just bless your heart. I don't know if you were able to hear our interview with Matt Westfield. Matt Westfield was interviewed by Ken Casterco. And this man is a unique man in that he's had a huge amount of experience in starting business. And so he teaches young people how to start and grow a business. And so he's right in the genre of where we want to go. He is a professor at the University of Nevada in Reno, Nevada. It's one of the northern cities of Nevada on the western part of the United States, University of Nevada. And so he's there. He goes around the world. He's been in Africa and other parts of the world, helping start and move forward people who want to be entrepreneurs. And you've heard me say, and I'll say it again, I believe we've all been called to be entrepreneurs. Now, some may be more gifted than others. Like all of us can minister as Christians, but some of us are pastors, teachers, evangelists, and prophets and have more of a ministry. But all of us can be about giving the value that we have in exchange for the value that other people have. And this is the will and purpose of God. And so we just want to encourage you to become a problem solver no matter where you are. You could be starting your own business or you go and work for somebody else. Be so premium for them that they can't afford to do business without you. And so today we're going to dial back into Matt Westfield, and he is going to be sharing 12 truths of entrepreneurship, 12 truths. And he's going to give us truths because we can't build without truth. We need mentors and we need collaboration, as I've said before. And so the more we can understand the processes and what we need to add or remove from our lives, the more we can become better at being able to forge a new business, to be an entrepreneur, to solve a problem. So that's what we're all about. I shared with you the other day, and I'll just mention this again as an example. Many of you know that we have a company, Father's Heart International, which is a nonprofit corporation that has ministered to children and built schools and has done city evangelism, crusade evangelism. Well, we also said, hey, we want to do something more than just ask people to donate. We want to start a business. So we started a coffee roasting company in California. My vice president, who's Joe Rosick, and his wife Ann Rosick, oversee this business that we've been building. And Joe particularly has been building it over the last 5 years. And so it's a coffee roasting company. Well, the other day I was talking to Joe, and I said, how's it going? He said, we just produced 2,000 bags of coffee to ship out. And he showed me a picture of the pallets of coffee that were going out. And I said, what else are you doing? He says, we're selling face shields. I said, what? There are a lot of people right now with the COVID are selling masks. Well, he's selling a clear face shield like you see welders using or doctors. Usually it's to keep you from getting splashed in your face. And I said, why are you doing that? He said, well, I saw that there was a market for it, and I met a guy who makes those things. So we bought a bunch of them, and we're selling them online. That means on the internet. And he says, we're making money doing this. And I said, that is great, Joe. You saw a need, and you met it. You bought the product, and now you bought low, and you're selling high, and you're making money. And that's the way business works. And Joe wasn't, he doesn't sell masks or medical products, but he saw how he could promote this one product and make some money. Now, he's not going to maybe do it for a long time, but in an interim, it's a way of helping the income of Father's Heart International and of Mount Whitney Coffee Roasters. And so I just wanted to share that with you. So let's go and listen to Matt Westfield. He's going to share 12 truths that are just going to help you build your business. And then on the other side, I'm going to come back and close it out.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for being here today. I'm Matt Westfield with Entrepreneurs Assembly, Adams Hub, and the University of Nevada, Reno. We're here to talk to you about building your own companies. You recall last week I was interviewed by Ken Casterico of The Power to Create Wealth, and Ken and I discussed a little bit about entrepreneurship and how to build companies, and we also discussed a little bit about what to expect over this upcoming year, where we will be discussing and helping you build your own companies. We'll be going step by step, week after week, and every couple of weeks we'll bring in a guest, and those guests will tell you about their entrepreneurial journey. And our first guest will be coming up here very quickly, and Anota is a wonderful lady from Zambia who has helped women entrepreneurship throughout Zambia. So I can't wait to introduce her to you in the next week or two. But tonight, we're going to talk about the 12 truths of entrepreneurship. And this was a session that I gave in Dakar, Senegal last December, and I built it for that. But I was honored to be able to present it to you through Dr. Tom Greiner, Ken Casterico, and The Power to Create Wealth. So without further ado, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen, on this journey to entrepreneurship and to building your own company. And first off, I want to say, we don't care if you want to build a big, large or small company. We want to help, and we're going to be showing you ways that you can build your company and things that you can do today that are actionable and ready and simple and don't cost money. So that being said, let's get started. Truth number one, ladies and gentlemen. This is something I learned as a really young business person. We all think that our new technology, our new solution, our new product is the best, but business is not about business. Do you know what business is about? It's about people. It's about relating to people and helping understand what problems they're facing and ultimately listening and hearing how you may be able to help them solve their problems. We solve people's problems, the business will automatically follow. And it's amazing. When we do that, we start creating networks and we start creating relationships that we otherwise didn't have. So, truth number one, business is not about business, business is about people. Solve problems, and that will create the business that you're looking to lead. Okay? Let's talk about truth number two. And I think it follows up very, very nicely to truth number one. You can have the greatest product or service in the world, and it can be the cheapest, it can be the best, but if people don't like you or they don't trust you, they're not going to do business with you. So one of the things that we find in entrepreneurship is people do business with people they like and they trust. And again, you can have a great product or service, but you won't get those ongoing sales unless you are trustworthy and people like you. It makes a difference. Think about it in your own world. You like to do business with people you like and trust, so do I. And so this works for everyone. All right, let's talk about truth number three. You know, one of the things I find with young entrepreneurs is they go out and they want to change the whole world. And that's okay to want to change the whole world, but you can't change the whole world until you find a little piece of the world that matters to you. And what do I mean by that? It means that it's okay to try to solve world's problems, but try to solve something that's important to you, something that means something that helps you get up in the morning and it matters to you. And if you change that little piece of the world, it's amazing, because bigger changes you will always follow. If what you're doing is important and there's more people who believe that the piece of the world you're trying to change is relevant and important, you'll find that the people jump in and try to help. People really want to help other people build their companies. They want to help people change the world. You need to be the leader who goes and brings that vision forth, and others will follow. So don't try to change the whole world, try to change a small piece that matters to you. Let's talk about truth number four. And as you see, these truths seem to segue, don't they? So truth number four is, whatever you do, if you haven't already started your business and you're searching for that next big thing, do something that gets you up in the morning, that excites you. Don't do things for the money. I've had many young entrepreneurs who say they want to make $1 million. And if that's the goal and it doesn't go well, when the money runs out, it's hard to keep the motivation. It's hard to keep the inspiration. If I'm doing something in my life that gets me up in the morning and I'm excited and it changes a little piece of the world, the money will come. And the money will come as we deserve it, as we earn it, as the vision builds, and as we change that little piece of the world that we talked about in truth number 3. And I'll tell you what, if it doesn't get you up in the morning, do something else. Really. Because again, motivation and inspiration need to come from all kinds of places. And an entrepreneur, it's a tough road. So think about it and think about the thing that would get you up in the morning and get you excited to face the day. So ladies and gentlemen, in Truth 5, we're talking about changing our surroundings. Now, we've got all the people we grow up with in our sphere of influence, our neighborhood and our house. But to build a company, we need to find people who can help us, guide us, or like I like to say, get out of the way. And what we want to do is we want to surround ourselves with winners. People who've built companies before, people who understand, maybe bankers, maybe lawyers, attorneys, or accountants. These are the types of people we want to surround ourselves with, along with other people who have that entrepreneurial mindset, which is, I'm going to work day and night, okay? Because my vision and my passion are going to change a little piece of the world. So we want to find people who are going the same way we are, and they're excited. And maybe these are people in our neighborhood, maybe they're in our family, but not always. Often we have to go outside our normal sphere to find those winners. That's why we created Entrepreneurs Assembly 10 years ago, because it helps bring entrepreneurs together, because nobody knows what a founder goes through except another founder. So if I'm a marketing person, I want to find somebody who has technical talent. If I'm a finance person, I want to find somebody with marketing skills. If I have, again, a background in legal, I want to find people who can help me with marketing and engineering. So we want to find and surround ourselves with people who are going the same way we are, but they're not doing the same things. This creates the diversity and the ability for this business to expand outward. Let's talk about truth number 6. All right, when we're building a company, we get all excited about our product or our service. We get excited. But let's cut to the chase. One of the most important thing we have to do when building a company is find out, are there customers out there who will pay us for what we want to do? So if I have a company that is business to business, which means I'm going to sell my product or service to other businesses, then business cares about 4 primary things. And I wish somebody would have taught me this when I was younger. Business cares about 4 things, and those 4 things are, number 1, make me money. Number 2, save me money. Number 3, make me time. Number 4, save me time. Now, most of those 4 things are pretty self-explanatory, but I do want to touch base on make me time. What does that mean? And how is that different than save me time? So if we walk into an office and we see someone sitting in that office and we go in and they're doing the same thing over and over, we come back a week later, they're doing that same thing over and over. And we think of, gosh, I could create this little thing that would allow them to do something else, and this would automate the task that they're doing now. That's making time. Why? Because now I'm not just saving time, I'm freeing and we're freeing somebody up to do something completely different than they're doing that can make the company money. Not sitting there doing repeated tasks. So making time is different. Saving time is, I'll save you a minute here and there. Making time is, I'm going to free you up to do something much more important and valuable. These are really, really important concepts. So does your product or service, and I'm going to challenge you now, or does your idea for a product or service, if it's B2B, does it make the company money? Does it save them money? Does it make them time? Or does it save them time? Because that's all business to business cares about. That is it. And so let us pinpoint on those 4 areas and which one of those problems you solve for your business to business customer. All right? Think about it. That's going to lead us fundamentally, ladies and gentlemen, to Matt's truth number 7. Let's talk about business to consumer. If we have a business to business, there's those 4 things. If we have business to consumer, there's a 5th element. Who knows what it is? Do you? The 5th element, we all want to save money, we want to make money, save time, make time. But what's the 5th element that matters most? Emotion. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a consumer and you're selling to consumers, those 4 things, make time, make money, save money. But what's more important? Oh, it's so big. Oh, it's so little. Oh, it's too blue. It's too pink. It's very dark. Oh, it's very heavy. Oh, it's so light. All of these things that I just said in my consumer voice are people out shopping and thinking of all these things when we're shopping. And when we look at something, we're thinking a lot. But mostly, maybe it saves us money, but what is the emotional attachment? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're creating a product or service for the consumer, think about the 4 items, but focus on the 5th. Because we, as humans and as consumers, we buy on emotion. Oh, that is so cool, I gotta have it, right? That's what I'm talking about. Make your product or your service so cool that people have to have it in the B2C market, okay? That's my challenge. How are you gonna tap into their emotion to get them to buy your product or your service?
Perfect. You ready? On 3, all of us say emotion. 1, 2, 3.
Emotion! Let's get to truth number 8. Ladies and gentlemen, there's some things that just come with doing it and with getting older and jumping in. A lot of folks like to plan their business and plan. I learned as a young guy, you can only plan so much, you have to jump in. And this is one of those lessons that we learn as we get older. And so truth number 8 is make sure as an entrepreneur you are a lifelong learner, because that is one of the attributes. And what I've found is the older I get and the more I learn, the less I know. And why is that? Because it's a big world. And this is why in truth number 7, we surround ourselves with a diverse group of people who do things we don't. That helps us learn and teach and understand and collaborate. So the other thing too I want to say about this point is we as entrepreneurs, especially if you've done it more than once, like many of us, we feel we have I've got this vision in my head. Oh my gosh, it's so clear. And so you think you've got all the answers. When you start surrounding yourselves with the trustful people that you're going to bring into your circle, you find that those people will challenge you. And they'll challenge you. Hey Matt, did you ever think about this with the business? Gosh, I didn't. Thank you for that. And thank you for speaking to me about this, because otherwise I wouldn't have thought in that way. So we want to surround ourselves with people who will not only are winners, but will tell us the truth and tell us and challenge us to be better. And so the older we get, the more we learn. Like I said, the less we know, but actually the lessons we've learned are incredible. So, in essence, we want to know knowledge is power, but knowledge plus action is the true power. So, figure it out and get started, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So, as we think about that, and I challenge you to make your vision better, let's go to truth number 9. Truth number 9. How many of you in the audience right now can predict the future? No, me neither, actually. Okay? And we can't predict the future. Why? Because the future changes. But what do we do when we're building a business and we're sharing our business with others? We're building the future, aren't we? So, when we build the vision for the future and we start proving all the things and finding people who may want to buy what we're selling, we can't be right about everything that's going to happen because it's in the future. But what we can do is we can plan so well and we can defend it. Let me give an example. Someone were to say to me, Matt, what makes you believe you can solve that problem? I say, gosh, I'm not sure what makes it, but you know what? The Wall Street Journal says this is a problem, and the World Health Organization says this is a problem, and I believe that this is the answer that we have. And I've surrounded myself with all these smart people to come up with this answer. So again, when we're talking about the future, we don't have to be right, we have to be able to defend it. That leads us off to a wonderful little truth called truth number 10. And one of the things I find is that people often take a lot of time and effort to look good and sound good and take showers and smell. So one of my sayings is, I don't care how you look, I don't care how you smell, I don't care how you sound, I don't care if you're handsome. I care that people buy what you're selling twice. So in the B2B world, I want to know that that business customer is going to buy another one, or they're going to tell their vendor. If I have a product or a service that's business to consumer, I want to know that if my consumer, my customer, is only going to buy it one time, that they tell their best friend. This is a really important concept, ladies and gentlemen. And truth number 10 probably ought to be a little earlier in the schedule. Why? Because for me, I know that my business is going to be as good as the people I can get to buy it and make sure they buy it twice. Once can be a mistake. So let's make sure when somebody buys your product or service, they can't wait to buy it a second time or tell their best friend. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about building companies, what we've found over the last decade, a little bit more in entrepreneurship, and I've been doing this for many, many decades, is that people who go alone and think they know everything have a terrible and a tough time building their company, especially when you isolate yourselves. One of the things we found is that 70% of mentored companies are successful. So 70% of the founders like you and like me who go seek out help and assistance from people who've done it before, people who are experts, people who bring a piece of knowledge, what we call subject matter expertise, to the table. These people are so valuable to me. And I've done this, and I still, in my businesses, still seek out people who are smarter than me or have attributes and successes in places that I don't. People who have knowledge in places that I don't. So from that standpoint, I am still today building tech companies, and I am looking for partners, I'm looking for mentors, I'm looking for advisors, always. Because there's always people who bring something to the table that I don't. And remember, 70% of unmentored or non-mentored companies or non-mentored founders fail. So look at the difference there. 2/3 of the companies that get mentoring are successful. 2/3 of the ones that don't are fail and go under. So I want you, each and every one of you, to be one of the successful companies. So what is our lesson for truth number 11? Get help now. We're excited because Entrepreneurs Assembly is going to be launching here virtually in the next couple of weeks, where you can come back to us, hear from me and other experts who've built many companies around the world, and we're going to gather here in late August, and we're going to hear from you about your company, your entrepreneurial journey, and how we can help you create a network and an ecosystem of entrepreneurs. Let's talk about truth number 12. And this is our last truth for this particular lesson, but this is so important. Entrepreneurship can be extremely challenging. It can be extremely scary, okay? And it can be intimidating and it can be frustrating. But it can also be one of the most exhilarating things you ever do in your life, which is why I keep building companies. One of the things we need to learn to take a breath, enjoy the ride, and have fun. Have fun meeting people. Have fun sharing your vision with people. Have fun with people taking your vision and sharing it back with you. This is the excitement of the entrepreneurial journey. So it can be frustrating, it can be scary, it can be exhausting, but you know what? It's also one of the most exhilarating and exciting things you will ever do in your life. So if you've not built a company, but you want to, we're here for you now. It's time to take this journey with us. Week after week, we are going to bring a lesson. And the first lesson next week will be, what does it take to be an entrepreneur? And we're going to find out what attributes you have to be an entrepreneur. What attributes do people around you have to help you with your entrepreneurial journey? From there, once we know what attributes we have, let's talk about, in weeks to come, the types of businesses we can build. Let's talk about the types of businesses, whether it's a lifestyle business that you're going to create in your local area, or a growth business that can go around the world and get customers everywhere. We're going to talk about all of those things. And when we do, we're going to get feedback from you in a WhatsApp session that we're building right now, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I've got some incredible mentors from both the United States and from Zambia and from other parts of Africa who are going to be helping us. I have a young man who runs an incubator in Dakar, Senegal. We have another young man who's running a tech hub in Guinea-Bissau. We've got folks all over Africa who want to help you. So when we bring this together for you each and every week, we're going to be looking for feedback. We're going to be building feedback mechanisms. We're going to be building interactivity with you. And we're excited to create this ecosystem and be on this journey with you.
Well, I think that this is so exciting to hear this man give these clear principles, these truths that are, they're just, they're not on the moon. They're here in the world that we're living in, and that you can just see clearly from talking or listening to him talk that these are principles that are so very necessary. I loved truth number 6, I believe it was, or at least it was a part of it. It says, what business to business wants. In other words, one business selling something to another business, they want to know, can you make me money? Can you save me money? Can you make me time, or can you let me have more time? Or can you save me time, which is a way of having more time? And I just thought that was just a real clear way of looking at what it is for one business to work with another. And then for a business and a consumer, the consumer is looking for how you can make their life better, make their life move easier, or supply something that makes their life worth more. So it's a whole different dynamic, but it's all pretty much the same. And it's truths like this that really just give you some traction in the world you're living in. So I want to just take a moment and pray for you. Many of you have suffered under this COVID shutdown. Father, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for Matt Westfield and the principles that he has brought us. I thank you, Father, that you're encouraging people that they can have a hope and that they can get up and have a new future. Lord, I thank you. You are the God of all hope, and let hope be transmitted to everyone that's listening. Get up off your couch. Get up out of your chair. Get up out of a poverty mentality. Put on the Lord Jesus Christ. Put on the principles. All of these principles we've just been shared with you, they're all grounded in the Word of God. Think about that. Seriously. Anyway, hey, I want you to be blessed. I want to see you succeed. I believe just as you have a huge continent called Africa, you can have an Africa that becomes prosperous, that it begins to minister to the whole world. Think about that. You have all of the resources. You're not lacking anything. Just need to turn the dials a little bit and look for some avenues to do marketing and let it fly. So, hey, I bless you. Tell a friend about this program. Check us out on WhatsApp. And until tomorrow, don't forget, it's God who gives you the power through wisdom to create wealth. So think about that.